A single lost receipt cost a self-employed man in Munich over 14,000 euros. Not because he committed fraud, not because he lied, but simply because he had no proof. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 most expensive mistakes that self-employed people make with paper chaos. Mistakes that can cost you your entire business. And more importantly, how you can avoid every single one of them starting today. There are over 4 million self-employed people in Germany alone, and the vast majority of them are fighting the same invisible enemy: paper chaos. Lost receipts, missed deadlines, missing documentation. It sounds harmless, but it can be business-ending, because the German tax office shows no mercy. We're going to go through each of these 7 mistakes, one by one, from number 7 all the way down to the absolute most expensive. And for every single mistake, I'll show you the digital solution that eliminates it. Let's get into it. Mistake number 7, not digitizing your receipts. Thermal receipts fade. Gas station printouts become unreadable. And this happens thousands of times, every single day. A photographer from Hamburg had been collecting all of his receipts in a shoebox for 3 years. Organized? That's what he thought too. Until the tax audit came. Over 60% of his receipts were faded, damaged, or completely unreadable. The tax office rejected over 8,000 euros in business expenses. Just like that. His mistake? He never digitized a single one. And here's the thing. A simple scanner app on his phone would have been enough. Tools like ScanBot, or even your phone's built-in camera, can digitize receipts in seconds, fully compliant with German archiving standards. The paper fades. The digital copy doesn't. Mistake number 6, not separating your personal and business finances. A web designer from Cologne used his personal bank account for everything: client payments, grocery shopping, rent, business subscriptions. All of it piled into one account. When the tax office audited him, he had to explain every single transaction from the last 3 years. Over 2,000 of them. Imagine that for a second. The aftermath cost him a pricey tax advisor, weeks of lost working time, and massive back payments, because unidentified deposits were automatically classified as taxable income. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple: a separate business account. Many banks offer free business accounts, and with a digital bookkeeping tool like LexOffice or Sevdesk, transactions get categorized automatically. Separation creates clarity, and clarity creates safety. Mistake number 5, ignoring tax deadlines. In Germany, your VAT pre-registration is due on the 10th of the following month. Miss that date, and you'll be hit with late payment surcharges, automatically. No warning, no reminder, no second chance. A graphic designer from Berlin forgot to file for 3 consecutive quarters. Not out of malice, she just forgot. The penalties and interest added up to over 3,200 euros. But that wasn't even the worst part. The tax office put her on an elevated audit list. From that moment on, every tax return, every receipt, every single booking was scrutinized with a fine-tooth comb. One missed deadline had given her a permanent mark, and all of it could have been avoided with a digital bookkeeping system that sends automatic reminders. A simple calendar notification would have been enough, or better yet, a tool that submits the filing directly through Elster, the German tax portal. Automatically, on time, without you even thinking about it. Mistake number 4, not creating GoBD compliant invoices. GoBD, 4 letters that most self-employed people ignore entirely. It stands for the principles of proper bookkeeping and document retention in electronic form. Sounds bureaucratic, but get it wrong, and it's devastating. An IT freelancer from Stuttgart had been creating his invoices in Microsoft Word for years. He edited them after the fact. He assigned duplicate invoice numbers, and he never stored anything in a tamper-proof format. When the audit came, his entire bookkeeping was rejected. All of it. Thrown out. The tax office estimated his profit instead, significantly higher than reality. The result? Over 11,000 euros in back taxes, plus interest. The fix? An invoicing tool like Sevdesk, LexOffice, or FastBill. Automatic numbering, PDF export, tamper-proof archiving, GoBD compliant at the push of a button. No Word, no Excel, no risk. Mistake number 3, no data backup. Imagine waking up one morning. Your laptop won't turn on. Or worse, a burst pipe has flooded your workspace overnight. Every invoice, every contract, every client file, every project, gone. That's exactly what happened to an architect from Frankfurt. A pipe burst above his office while he slept. His computer, destroyed. 3 folders of paper documents, soaked and ruined beyond recovery. No backup, no cloud, nothing. He didn't just lose active projects. He lost 4 years of tax records. The recovery process took months and required an expensive tax advisor to reconstruct what he could. Estimated total damage? Over 15,000 euros. Plus lost contracts that can't even be measured in numbers. And here's what makes this one sting the most. Cloud storage costs almost nothing. Google Drive, Dropbox Business, specialized solutions like digitizing. An automatic backup running in the background would have saved everything. Everything. Mistake number 2, relying on paper contracts, or worse, no contracts at all. A plumber from Düsseldorf landed a major job worth 25,000 euros. Handshake deal. Quick confirmation over WhatsApp. Job completed. Materials paid for. Weeks of work invested. The client didn't pay. In court, he had no enforceable contract. The WhatsApp message? Not sufficient. The result? He absorbed the full loss. 25,000 euros. Gone. Be honest with yourself for a second. How many of your current jobs are running without a proper written agreement right now? Digital contract tools like HelloSign, DocuSign, or even the free signature feature in Adobe Acrobat make agreements legally binding, fully traceable, and impossible to lose. You create the contract. Your client signs digitally. Both parties get an instant copy. No loss, no searching, no risk. And now the biggest mistake of all. It's not one lost document. It's not one missed deadline. It's not even a missing contract. It's the decision to have no system at all. The constant putting off. I'll digitize later. I'll sort out the bookkeeping next month. It's worked fine so far, hasn't it? A study by the Institute for SME Research in Bonn found that self-employed people spend an average of 7 hours per week on administrative tasks that could be reduced to under 2 hours through digitalization. That's over 250 hours per year. 250 hours you could be spending on new clients, on learning new skills, or simply on living your life. But it's not just about time. It's about the feeling of control. When you don't have a system, you live in constant uncertainty. Do I have all my receipts? Is my tax return correct? What happens if the tax office comes knocking? That fear paralyzes. And in the end, it costs more than any software subscription ever will. The solution? A simple, complete, paperless system. An invoicing tool, a receipt scanner, cloud storage, a digital calendar for deadlines. The entire setup takes 1 weekend, and it costs less than a dinner at a restaurant. The most expensive mistake isn't any of these 7. The most expensive mistake is doing nothing at all. These 7 mistakes have cost self-employed people hundreds of thousands of euros combined. And the most tragic part? Every single one of them was completely avoidable. Not through more work, not through more money, but through one simple digital system. The question isn't whether you can afford to go digital. The question is whether you can afford not to. If you want to know how to set up your entire paperless office in a single weekend, step by step, using free tools, then subscribe to this channel. That's exactly what I'm showing you in the next video. Drop me a comment. Which of these 7 mistakes surprised you the most? And if you know someone who's still drowning in paper chaos, share this video with them. It might just save them thousands.